Hello and welcome to my Elite Dangerous, the day-to-day grind, prime time grind. Would be all the time, but Frontier today announced that they're going to slash the operating expenses of the fleet carrier by up to 85%. That's pretty awesome. And the jump. Before it was an hour to prepare for the jump and an hour cooldown. Now it's 15 minutes for the prepare and 5 minutes for cooldown. Isn't that awesome? And the tritium will have double the fuel economy. So it can go twice as far on 1 ton as it did before. Isn't that cool? There's a lot of cool. Make sure I didn't miss anything. Oh, if you were away from the game for 4 weeks and you had a debt, I think for 4 weeks they could decommission your fleet carrier. Now it's 10 weeks. You have a chance to catch back up. But with the operating costs now down 85%, it might be easier to catch up. The upfront cost, like I think it's the services, will be 35 to 45% lower than they were before. Universal cartographics in May's beta will be available. Isn't that awesome? They're going to put universal cartographics on your carrier. So that is cool. I like it. I do. I like it. So that's about all of it, but that's huge. They didn't say anything about the initial $5 billion cost. So you might still have to grind for the $5 billion, but it makes my 9.3 fixing to be 9.35 go a whole lot further, because I was grinding for that fleet carrier. Because if you watch my beta fleet carrier, my fleet carrier videos, I like it. I like it a lot. I mean, it's a traveling home for all of your ships. And I've even bought 3 additional ships in live and have outfitted them to be support ships. So there's a cargo version, there's a travel version, there is a mining version, and a planetary version. So I just jump in whichever version it is of what I'm going to do. If we're going to do planetary or planetary exploration, we take the planetary ship. If we're going to do some asteroid surface mining, we take the mining ship. If we need to run over to Laxac to mod the shield boosters and pin the shield booster, so we can mod all of our shield boosters of these new ships to grade 3, I can just take the travel version that has the about a 50 light year jump range, and I can go take care of something. So it's really great. And now with the cost being lower, it's not going to, in the future, it's not going to eat up more of the 9.3. I can have maybe a year of upkeep costs in there. Now I haven't seen it in the beta yet, because my fleet carrier still says it costs $127 million a week. That should be about 85% lower as soon as they put this into effect. Now maybe it's after or someone that buys one that didn't have one before, that it's less. But the beta only goes for another 5 days. And then there'll be a May beta. And it should have all the new stuff. and they usually take a snapshot of live 2 weeks before the beta. So I'm hoping I've got my ships in, and at least the 9.3 for the next beta. Well, what we need to do now is we need to run over to Sothis and pick up a load and come and deliver that to whatever station we decide the load's going to, based on our cargo missions. And we should easily pick up the 1.3 million. Is this right? Okay. Is this left? Now, before we do that, at the moment, we have all of our other ships here. Now, this is live. We have the original Sidewinder. We have the Planetary Python. We have the Mining Python. We have the Travel Python. And we have the Cutter. So those are our ships, and those will all be transferred to the fleet carrier in May, and when I buy one in June. So we should be set. Might get a small ship, I don't know. Maybe one of the Diamondbacks that have the super light year range. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see. Sis left. But it was good news today. That's some news we were hoping for. I know a lot of you were hoping that it would be less than 5 billion. And the announcement didn't say anything about that part of it. Like they were going to lower that. But I don't know. We'll find out the next day or two, because I'm sure it's created more questions, and they'll have to answer those questions. But if you look to the bottom right of your video, and you'll see a subscribe button, and if you'd press that, it'd really help me with YouTube. I'm not to their minimum yet, but you could help me get closer, and you get notified when I produce new videos, and it doesn't cost you anything. So please subscribe. And underneath the video, in the description, you'll see options to donate. Please consider donating. It's very expensive for the storage systems, the publishing system, the audio system, the hardware and software, all of that, to do over 545 videos. So if you'd help us out in that regard. And our fleet carrier now, and in May and in June, will be open to all. And we were thinking about like a squadron and friends and things like that, but no, it'll be open to everybody. And right now, and it'll probably be there in May also. Sis left. I'll show you where it's at. Galaxy map. Right here. Reg Gua DTQ B321. That's an uninhabited system. The reason I like it, there's no pirates. I can mine in peace. Now, we're in live, so you won't see the fleet carriers. But right now, it's orbiting this planet. And it says it is unexplored, but in the beta, it is explored because we're there. So, and I have it pinned here. I'd like to move that. Let's see if we can move it. Nope, not that one. Over here. Oh, come on. Make it so difficult. I want to take off this bookmark. They make it so difficult when you got a VR headset. It's just craziness. It just jumps all over the place. It's impossible. They just make it so impossible. Because the mouse does not line up. Well, it's supposed to be the one underneath it. Well, it's there. I mean, this stuff is just so crazy. I wish things worked right, but they don't. Okay, so it's there. Right now, we have to go back over to Sothis Mining. I like this area because the cargo missions are really good. Sometimes they slow down for a few runs, but if you'll stack the missions, it'll pick up again. Okay, Sothis. Let's get there and grab those cargo missions. Is this right? And hit that 9.35.
Landing gear retracted.
Ship released. Regulate speed until clear of exclusion zone.
But I wanted to share the good news with you about the operating costs of fleet carriers, where it was going down dramatically. I think they actually said 85.5% is what they're going to drop. Is this up?
4, 3, 2, 1. Engage.
Again, thank you for coming along. It wouldn't be worth creating the videos if no one watched. Sis left. And what we're doing, we first only select gold and palladium. Those two. Palladium gives the highest reward. Gold gives next for delivering. And if we just need a top, if we're going to a certain station like Babbage or New Dawn or Brunel, we'll top it off to try to fill the 280 storage units. that the Python can carry. So we want to maximize the credits as much as possible. And you might have noticed that I skipped a 50 million. We went straight up to 100 million for the next video. I had some video issues with the 50 million increment, because that's when we do a video, is every 50 million, unless issues happen. Now, I'm used to having to grind. Even when I bought the 3 Pythons to be support ships in the May beta, and when I purchased the fleet carrier, it's 167 million. So we went from 9167 back to 900 billion. And I just went ahead and grinded it back to the right before 9.2, and we created a video off of that, because if I'm not doing the video, it doesn't take long at all to gain about 200 million, just a few hours. So I went ahead and did that. So I didn't want you to have to see us grind for the same balance again. Now we have NPCs that try to beat us, sys left, that try to beat us to the request.
Docking request granted.
So I come in hot, so it's harder since I play in solo, to have those NPCs try to beat us to the request, because Elite Dangerous is an obstacle course. It's far less about reality and more about obstacle and pirate fantasy. So if you're a pirate, if you play as a pirate, it's the perfect game for you. But if you want to explore and trade and really all about the scenery and flying a spaceship and stuff like that, they're going to frustrate you all they can. So that's what they do.
Engines disengaged.
So to me, it's a good game. It could be a great game if it was more reality and less obstacle and pirate fantasy. Shouldn't have to go through 7 interdictions just to fly the ship between between the star and the station. But I have videos of 7 interdictions in one Super Cruise run, and I have 4 very often. Sys left. Okay, we're going to New Dawn. So boom, time delivery 120 palladium. Right there, New Dawn. It's a partial, so it makes it much easier when you only have to carry a partial, because we didn't get paid for what we delivered in it last time. Sys left. Boom, delivery 120 gold to New Dawn. I take the oldest ones first, because sys left, they have expiration of about 13 hours. Brunel, New Dawn, help 88 gold. New Dawn. Assist left. Deliver 144 palladium. That one. This will probably be a partial, yeah. Our 280 is full. Assist right. Let's make sure. Nope, 226. Oh, it didn't take. It's fine.
Cargo hold
Now.
at maximum capacity.
Assist right. Now it's 280. Assist left. Going to New Dawn. And this is the pirate convention is here in Cios. If you like seeing someone get interdicted, you better grab your popcorn, because you're going to see it 4+ times about every time. So let's get going. Make sure you press that subscribe button in the bottom right hand corner to help me with YouTube. It doesn't cost you a thing, and you'll get notified when I create more videos, so please do that.
Landing gear retracted. Ship released. Frameshift drive charging.
And this is the year of the content, because around December they're supposed to come out with space legs and planetary personal bases and being able to land on atmospheric planets.
4, 3, 2, 1. Engage.
So like Earth-like type planets and things like that. But it'll be a DLC just like Horizons was. So you got Elite Dangerous, Horizons, and then you'll have a new DLC for the new content. At least fleet carriers wasn't part of the DLC. See, they're already starting to line up behind us. See, big haul. He just can't wait to try to steal it, but no one has been able to steal from me in about 8 months. So I don't think they're going to be that successful. Anything can happen, but if you get knocked out of the Super Cruise, you go to max throttle. You hit boost as often as you can, because it's like a capacitor. It has to, the middle engine has to rise meter, and then you can hit it again, and you try to get back into Super Cruise. But if your ship's too hot because they've been shooting at you with thermal weapons, you use a heat sink, and you look to the left of the screen and you see those heat sinks, and I have it mapped to voice so I can have them launch. See, here's number 2 is fixing to hit us. And I like slowing down so we don't get too far from the station while they're messing around with us. Sometimes you can go up and down vertically and cause them to go ahead and hit you. Oops, and here's even another one, so that'll be number 3. So you got 2 sitting behind us wanting to interdict us. So this is being carjacked every time I go to the grocery store. Multiple times. And that's supposed to be acceptable. That's not excess. So my version of excessive and Frontier's version of excessive are completely different. This is number 3. Number 3 carjacking. Just going to the grocery store. It's totally lawless. So you don't want to live in 3306 because it's a completely lawless galaxy. I've even been interdicted by a security force before. Sis left. Sis view. See, I would far rather have more reality. And I like the fleet carrier, but I like getting outside of populated systems. It has some really great effects in the game.
Romeo Golf India. We're happy to have you.
Incoming mission
Priority
critical
access will
message.
be
Sis
granted
left.
upon request.
But I think all the developers were born in Somalia, where they were born and raised on pirating.
Okay, Commander. Please land on pad 3-5. Acknowledged, Commander. Clear for assisted docking.
And I like running around on planets with SRVs, but you have support ships come in for the skimmers and stingers and want to blow you up. See, there's not a chance that I would play
Landing
open
gear
ever.
deployed.
I mean, the computer-based pirates are bad enough.
Solid contact, dispatching ground crew. Station facilities are at your disposal, Commander.
Now, I admit that's why the rewards are so high. It's because of everything you have to go through to even deliver cargo. They better be high. See, we did over 15 million. Is this right? Well, we need to get back to Sothis Mining. I usually like to do the round trip, just back to Sothis Mining, and then that will complete the video. Sis left. Now, for some of you, being interdicted 7 times might be a treat. You might really enjoy that. I'm not sure why, but you might enjoy that. Now, if you were a top combat person, then you could turn it on them. But when I've been knocked out of Super Cruise, there's like 3 or 4 of them waiting to attack me all at the same time. So you might enjoy that. That might be why you play. Sis left. Sis right. I use voice attack, and sometimes it's really messed up too. Sometimes you have to tell it 2 or 3 times. Sis up. Clear all the messages. And let's get ourselves back to Sothis Mining and we'll close this video out. But at least the fleet carriers are going to be cheaper. I really like those because it's a traveling garage for my stuff, all my modded
Landing gear
modules.
retracted.
Detach is good. Observe queuing system when exiting the station.
And my ships. I have a cutter and I have 4 pythons. The pythons are going to be support ships for the fleet carrier.
Frameshift drive charging.
Yeah, for some reason I've got over 2,200 hours in this game.
2, 1, engage.
But in VR, it's like you're actually flying spaceships and having to put up with pirates constantly. Now I've noticed that most of the fleet carriers are open to everybody because they'll sell you fuel with a tariff. Like mine's 15%. There's a lot of them that's 25% or more. That for you to help them pay for it, and I understand that because it was so expensive, and now it's a little less expensive than it was. Sis left. Now the ones that I've tried to land on, there's been a couple out here at Sothis Mining, on the other side of Sothis Mining, and I've been attacked by pirates both times that I've tried to land on one of those stations. So just be careful if you're going to land on someone's fleet carrier. You might get attacked. So now mine's in an uninhabited system and I haven't seen anybody there. Now the computer that guides you in or approves you for landing on the fleet carrier said that there's something in my vicinity, but I couldn't understand what he was saying of what that something was. And he said it twice, and I've listened to it several times when I'm editing, and I don't know what he's saying. I don't know if he was trying to... It didn't sound like he was trying to say pirate or something like that in my vicinity. I could not tell what he was saying. It's the computer voice. And yep, we're gonna look at that max throttle, and I'm all the way down, and it's going max throttle. So would you spend 55 million for a ship, and all it does is the throttle sticks on maximum? What's with that? So now you see what my frustrations are. It's all about obstacle course. Oh, if this game could be so great. So they will never invite me to Frontier to talk to me about their game, because I am not an apologist for Frontier. I mean, has such awesome potential. So, but what this video is to help you be able to grind and get through all this pirating that you have to get through. Sis left.
Docking request granted.
So you can get a fleet carrier. a few times that I have asteroid mined, I just had to leave because the pirates were just too thick. I mean, they would try to attack you every time that you're trying to mine, and I just don't go for that. That's why I go to uninhabited systems to mine.
Landing gear deployed.
Oh, I just get interdicted so much. It just
Docking
drives me
successful.
crazy.
Engines disengaged.
Okay. Well, I thank you for coming along and listening to my rants. But it's not just Elite Dangerous. My voice attack, when I have to tell it 2 or 3 times, that bothers me. And my Oculus Rift S, a lot of times it loses tracking, and the whole video or the display is blurry and hazy, and I have to reboot the Oculus software. So I got plenty of complaints there. So if they would just fix it, or set it up to where you can decide if you want to be interdicted non-stop, or you would like to enjoy the game without 7 interdictions. I wish you could adjust the game to more your style. That's what I'm really trying to get to. This could be such a great game. Well, I'll bring you the information about the fleet carriers and how to gain credits and things like that, and about the space leg. Space leg is going to be cool because, see, in the VR I can look around my chair. So isn't that neat? In space legs I would be able to get out of my chair and walk over there. Now actually I could walk over there if I had the space in my room, which I don't. But you could be sitting down, but your avatar gets up and walks over there. So that would be pretty cool. I wish I was this skinny as the avatar. So until next time, thank you for watching.